today we're talking about the concept of the four walls.
The concept of the four walls. It's stupid. So I was talking about this yesterday. A little bit. The consciousness of the moment. Or the current moment. You could talk about it, you can use it in the sense of the conscious moment. But I'll say it like this. The concept of the four walls is based solely where you are. Now, you can think of the pure conscious moment, which, as I was talking about yesterday, exists only in the moment, and you can't feel anything, you can't really think about anything because it's happening in that moment. And as soon as you reflect on something, you're not in the moment anymore. But with the concept of the four walls, that moment is expanded just a bit. I can use it in the sense of time. Now, when you look at the exact conscious moment, it's 0 seconds. It's within that moment. As soon as you start reflecting, it could be a second, less than a second. That's that's you taking yourself out of the current moment. So any time that passes, because within the current moment, time doesn't exist. From your knowledge, I'll say it like this: time does not exist within that current moment to you until you become aware of it. Time can move around you, with you in it, but in that moment, if you are in the moment, you're not realizing time exists. For example, it's like time is relative. just like, for example, if you're sitting watching a movie, scenes and scenes, or a TV show, scenes and scenes and scenes go by, and then you're like, it's over already? Yeah, it's been an hour. It's been an hour and a half. Or watching a movie, yeah, it's been 2 hours. Some movies you're like, okay, it's been 3 hours. Yeah, you feel it. But some, like really good TV shows, an hour can go by. You're doing it probably right now on YouTube. It's been 6 hours. Not on this video, but you probably clicked off already. No, time is relative. So within the concept of the four walls, within the understanding of time, within a current moment, I usually use it a lot when I'm sitting in a car or when I'm talking to somebody. I usually use it more when I'm talking to somebody about it. The concept of the four walls is nothing exists in the world from your perspective without your knowledge of it or realization of it in that moment. What I mean by that is right now I'm at a pond, lake, whatever you guys want to say. This is like on the cusp. It's I don't know. I'm not going to even try and debate it, but where I'm at right now, right here, nothing is going on. There could be terrible things happening around me, to my friends, family. I have no idea. To the United States, I have no idea. I have no idea what's happening. My phone, which is right there, recording too, it is, I'm on SOS right now, so I am completely cut off. But even if you weren't cut off, and let's say you were even looking at your phone, and you immediately put it down and you try this concept of the four walls. Basically what it is that nothing is happening unless you are aware of it or realizing it in that moment from your current memory or from the reflection of what's going on in that moment. What I mean by that is, right now, nothing is happening, right? I'm standing at like a little reservoir and there's a waterfall going on over there. Cool, nobody's around me. I'm not really aware of anything other than I can't take too many steps back or I might fall, but for the most part, nothing's happening. But what if I told you yesterday, one of my friends and I got into a fight. And as soon as I start thinking about that, I might start getting a little upset. I might start thinking about it a little bit more. But Nothing happened yesterday that I know of. But it only gets you upset, sad, angry, frustrated, stressed out, or anxious for anything that's happened in your life if you think about it, if you remember it, if you focus on it. The concept of the four walls isn't to get it away completely, although you can. It's a technique, but the technique is to be conjoined or used in conjunction to align yourself with other aspects of genuine philosophy, things of consciousness that are consciously related. Because the whole idea of what consciousness is, at least from the genuine philosophy perspective, is to become more aware of what you want and align your beliefs with your values, your actions, and your influential system. If I even said that right. So, what is the concept of the four walls? Why does it matter? Why do we care about it? So the idea of it is you can use it in a lot of high-paced decision makings. I haven't explained a lens theory yet, which would really be helpful in this scenario. But I'm just gonna explain the four walls a little bit more, and then we can talk about the conjunction of all three. Timestamps with lens theory, with the concept of the four walls. It's very powerful stuff. But we'll talk about the four walls alone, by itself. And then we can talk about you putting them together for a superpower. But concept of the four walls at its very core, like I said, is basically you can imagine yourself sitting in a room with four walls. There could be a ceiling and a floor. Nothing else. There's no doors, there's no windows. You're just sitting in that room. It might seem terrifying, but again, when you're in that room, nothing exists except what's in that room. So whatever you think of enters that room with you. If you think of nothing, nothing's in that room. If you think of fear, fear will enter into that room. If you think of sadness, something sad will enter into that room. If you think of happiness, happiness will enter into that room. And you might be saying, that's a powerful room. Yeah, it is a powerful room. You'd be like, I want to go in that room. Really? Well, that room is your head right now. That room is where you are right now. Like, what are you talking about? The concept of the four walls is always happening, constantly happening. But it just depends on your awareness of it. Are you aware of the concept of the four walls? The four walls is the conscious moment. Now, the conscious moment, like I said, doesn't need to be the pure moment where it's literally happening in that moment. It could be 1, 2, 5 seconds after. It could be 10. It could be an hour later. Because as I'm standing here, nothing has happened that I know of that has affected me right now. I've been here for an hour. Nothing has existed. Here's the beauty and the not so beauty thing about the concept of the four walls is that right now, in my head, I know that I parked a little bit farther away. It'll take me 20 minutes to get to where my car is. Right now, everything's perfectly fine. My car's over there, I have gas, it turns on, and I can drive and go to work. That's what I'm thinking and hoping and believing. But I can walk over there and realize that my car's not there. My car is not going to start. I don't have gas. All of those things that I thought were real were not. And then I begin to think, well, what was I thinking of? But that goes more into deep philosophical territory in terms of reality and not reality and blah, 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 and what is reality and blah, blah, blah. Those are different techniques to use the concept of the four walls. The main use of the concept of the four walls, without advanced versions of it, is what is happening within this current moment that is aiding me or negatively affecting me. Is my anxiety acting up because of things I'm focusing on? Am I at peace because I am looking around? And I'm realizing that in this specific moment, everything's okay. Because the concept of the four walls, at its very core, is to bring you back down to where you are in the moment. That nothing specifically is happening right now that you can't control, that you can't be positively a part of. Where I am right now, I have the luxury of being in this beautiful place, not too far. Actually, I have no idea how far away this is from my house. I really have no idea. And I honestly don't even know what town I'm in. But that's okay, because I have the belief that I'll get out of here perfectly fine and get home eventually tonight so I can sleep in my own bed, hopefully. Again, I don't know if that's going to happen. I really hope so, but I don't know. So that's using whatever you believe is true for you. And the second one, life is about life is about percentages. I really hope that I'm going to get home, but there's a percentage that I might not. And the third one is whatever whatever happens, you must be okay. Meaning that if I don't get home tonight, then I'll be okay, regardless of what happens. And using the concept of the four walls, I can come to that conclusion, meaning that where I am right now is perfectly okay. And everything that's ever happened to me in my life, at the end of the day, even if it has been negative and I didn't want it in that moment, it ended up being okay. And eventually we'll be okay. And there'll be a new problem that won't be okay, but then eventually it will be okay. Because all I need to do is just take a moment, look around, realize where I am, what's going on in this moment, and what can I do about it? Because you can do things, and then you also can't do things. But it's all about what's going on in your room, in your head. The concept of the four walls, what's going on in your room, in your head. I really hope I explained that well. I kind of feel like it was all over the place. But believe me, we'll go back to the concept of the four walls. We're not over. That's a big concept. And there's a lot to it. Because I wonder if it's basically the nature of reality or your subjective reality. Actually, I think that's literally it. I'm realizing right now that the concept of the four walls are the borders to your life, the borders to your subjective reality. And I'm picturing right now is bird cam. I'm picturing right now mapping out that those walls. Thank you for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching to the end if you did. I mean, I'm trying here, trying my best. I could probably try better, but hey, go check out these videos, subscribe if you can. Thank you.